So intelligent triggers are triggers that allow you to program alerts which appear only when a certain set of predetermined conditions are met. This is going to allow you to make sure that your agents aren't being unfairly treated, shouted at, penalized, whatever it might be. And this is going to let them have autonomy, certainty, without the status being demeaned. You're going to get lower adrenaline, increased dopamine, and all the good benefits that go along sort of with that. And we do have Steph, our Optymyse guru, in the background waiting to show us an example of how we can set up an intelligent trigger. So Steph's going to show us how to set up this resource running low trigger, which you can see on screen right now. Are you there, Steph?
I'm here. Hi, everybody.
I'm passing over to you.
Thanks, Danny. Yeah, so as Danny said, I'm going to show you how to create that resources low trigger. In order to treat people fairly and reduce stress, we don't want to alarm agents unnecessarily unless there's calls in the queue to actually be handled and there's not enough agents to take those calls. And with that in mind, the trigger that I'm going to set up is the resources low one. So it's based on that. So it's those two factors of when there are a certain number of calls waiting in the queue and not enough agents to take those calls. So I'm just in the trigger menu here. I'm just going to go and add in a trigger. Okay, so this is similar to what Sarah did before, but this is for the resources low pop-up, as we know. So I'm just going to call this resources low pop-up. Okay, and again, you've got your conditions and your actions. So your conditions are what need to happen in order for the trigger to appear, and then the actions are the result of that. So the action, what we want to happen. So in this case, the conditions are when there's a certain number of calls in the queue. So I'm just going to go in now and choose from the data call handling. So this is queued calls. So this condition that I'm setting up here is I'm going to say when there are 3 or more calls in the queue. And the other condition we want is when there are not enough agents to take those calls. So again, going back into the data. Agents available. Okay. Nope, less than or equal to 3. So you can obviously set this up as you want with your own numbers in mind. It completely depends on the amount of calls that generated that come through into your particular contact center. I'm just doing this one as an example. So we can see here when there's 3 or more calls in the queue, but less than 3 agents. So we know that there's not enough agents to take calls, but there's a lot of calls coming in. And the action that we want is to show. So we want whatever that's attached to, when those conditions apply, we want that element to actually appear and show up on the screen. Okay. I'm going to add that trigger in. So our trigger's set up, so we just need to go into our page. Just open up now. The page, I think it's this one here. Okay. So this is the message. If I just go in here, I'm just opening it up. And this section here, assign triggers, is where we set it up. We can see we've already got a trigger on there, but I'll show you the one that I actually set up, which was select. And then you just click OK, and then you save publish, and it pushes back to the designer, to the screen. As you can see on this video here, it shows up. And then you can see when it disappears. So yeah, as I say, we want that to appear when at the right time, rather than just having a resources low for whenever there's no agents available. The best time to do it is when there's too many calls as well. So it's those two factors that we need to take into account.